But I feel like we're still learning. We're still trying to understand what's happening and really where it applies to all the different things that we do. And so we decided to have someone speak today about mobile specifically and how it's changing events and what we can learn, the do's and the don'ts, and all that good stuff. So please give a warm welcome to Matt McKenna, the president and founder of Redfish Media.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Good afternoon. How are you? I'm Matt McKenna, the founder and president of Redfish Media. We're a mobile marketing and digital agency based in Miami, and our whole job in life is to create consumer engagement programs. I founded the company 10 years ago. At that point, there was really no mobile programs going on in the United States. And across the pond in Europe and Africa, they had started to tap into mobile technology. They had interactive TV shows. They had brand engagement. In Africa, they had built a network called M-Pesa, which today is one of the largest money transfer networks in the world. So to talk about how mobile is changing the future of events, we need to look at how it's changed today. Mobile affects every part of our life, be it financial, retail engagement, consumer. I mean, everybody's staring at their phones all day. So how do we take that and how do we translate that into events? And thank God we have a little bit of experience with events. So through the years, we've really tried to pave the way with mobile interaction in some of these larger events. We've been blessed and had done big shows at Comic-Con and Google and Oracle Open World. But the lessons that we learn from our day-to-day lives and how we use mobile technology is the important part. So 10 years later, mobile is a big part of everything that we do in our lives. Al Gore once told me, when you speak at an event, you should always leave behind some pearls for people. So we're going to give you a few pearls here. The connection between events and their second screen has grown over the years. Okay, and how do we measure that success? If we look at mobile, which is not just text messaging and mobile web, it's also social media. I think everything is really mobile now. I mean, all your interactions every day are really coming through your mobile phone. So if we look at the statistics from the Super Bowl between 2012 and 2013, it grew 80% in just tweets alone. So you had 13.5 million tweets in 2012, up to 25 million tweets in 2013. So people are getting more and more mobile, they're getting more and more engaged. 96% of 18 to 35-year-olds are on at least one social network. It's probably 100%, okay? That 4% is people that are living out in the woods somewhere, but everybody is on a social media network, and I think mobile and social is the magic is tying those two things together. 25% of search results for top brands are user-generated social media links. Now, if you think about that, 1/4 of all the search engine traffic that's related to a brand or a topic that you're looking for is coming from the user. So when we think about events and we think about mobile, tying in a tool and giving somebody the tools to be able to take that event and give it a life, and give it a life outside of the event is really where the magic happens. 90% of consumers trust peer-to-peer recommendations received through social media. So social media and mobile is what's driving decisions, what's driving awareness of the importance, what's driving the attraction to go to an event, the attraction to purchase that shirt, the review that somebody gave on something. So it's very important to give your attendees of an event the tools to generate the hype and the excitement. Average Americans spend over 34 hours per month using smartphone apps. I'm more like at 70 or 80 hours a month. But if you take the time to look around at people at an event, sitting on the sidewalk, walking through a shopping mall, they're all looking at their phones. So why don't we talk to them through their phones, give them the ability to communicate with your event through their phone? And by doing that, it grows exponentially and organically, and you create this living, breathing being, not just a one-off type of program. So I go to a lot of events, I speak at a lot of events, and you start to see, what's the direction? What am I supposed to do with this event? And I think it's very important for somebody who's planning an event or putting on an event is to have a strategy. Where are you going to have the most effect? Is it going to be on LinkedIn? Is it a business type event? Is it going to be content heavy? Do we want people to be tweeting about our event? Is it going to be photo heavy? Do we want Instagram? Facebook? Do we want video? So I think choosing and understanding the platform that you choose is extremely important. Because if you choose the wrong strategy and implement the wrong direction, then you're going to have sub-premium results. Mobile is a necessity in all these things. Giving people the ability to join an opt-in list to receive alerts about the event, to scan a QR code to download the event application. Do we want to have a sweepstakes? Do we want to create some excitement before the event? Maybe you can win tickets to the event or some sort of a prize. Are we going to have a mobile optimized web page? Very important. And are we going to have interaction at the event where the audience can actually participate and have some sort of engagement on screen? And I'll talk a little bit about that later, but giving the ability to engage with the event and create a conversation with the event or with other attendees gives that event this experience that goes far beyond just sitting and listening or sitting and watching. You actually participate now. And metrics. I think the best way to find if something worked is to run reports and metrics and study. What are people doing? Are people coming to your website on a mobile phone? Are they talking about it on YouTube? Are they tweeting about it? You know, we're going to get into the do's and don'ts here, but metrics is very important before we even put into play a strategy for your event. So mobile and social together, I think, is the future. Okay, we're starting to see a lot of that in other industries, but events tying in a mobile and a social experience and cross-pollinating, you know, mobile interaction into growing your social network or growing your Facebook likes or the number of times somebody, you know, tweets or hashtags or likes a photo is very important. We want to make sure that this event is talked about outside of the event, and in some cases around the world. Right? We've done a lot of high-profile events over the years where you see the conversations that start within the event lead to a global conversation, and that's really the goal, I think, for a lot of events that people are doing now. You know, there's platforms like, this is a shot from one of our platforms, but there's a lot of platforms now that give you the ability to tie in social media feeds, mobile feeds, and create an experience that could be on screen at your event. So you're not just talking to people, they're talking back at you. Now it's a conversation and it's a live event that you're producing on the fly. So what are some of the do's? There's a lot of them, but they only gave me 15 minutes. Ensure that your event has a strong Wi-Fi and cell service, right? Make sure that people can actually get online, they can send their tweets, they can post their photos on Instagram, make sure that people can connect to the outside world and we're not in a cave somewhere. Be relevant and unique with events. I think sell the steak, not the sizzle is important because content is king and hype sort of can fall to the wayside. Invest in the right tools, know how to use those tools. Okay, if you're using a platform that helps you, navigate like a Hootsuite or something, make sure you know how to use that and know how to use it well. And very important is to create pre-event buzz with incentives for attendees, like we talked about earlier, if it's a sweepstakes or if it's some sort of a program where somebody votes on something, maybe even give attendees the ability to vote on who speaks or topics that people would speak on or things that would happen throughout the show. Clear and concise calls to action this is an ongoing thing. You see on our slides here, we have on the bottom the hashtag BizBashFL, our Twitter handles. We want to make sure that people always know how to communicate and what's the right way to communicate with that event. because I can't tell you how many times I've been at an event and I'm not sure what their Twitter handle is, what I'm supposed to hashtag. You know, if I have to go searching for it, then you're not going to get the results you're looking for. And I think broadcasting the social media interactions, if we're getting good tweets from people, retweeting those tweets, favoring those tweets, responding back to that person to create that conversation. So those are the big do's that I look at for an event. Now we can talk about some of the don'ts, and there's a lot of don'ts, but again, I got 15 minutes. Don't go hashtag crazy, okay? We all saw the video with Justin Timberlake, okay, where it was hashtag everything. Be very clear and concise. Pick one hashtag. It's easy to remember and easy to spell. We don't want to have people hashtagging all these different things. So I think be very clear on what the message is and how to track that event is very important. Okay, don't count on your audience to be the only source of content. We should have people actively tweeting and posting important and relevant facts around what your event is focused on, right? Content is king. And don't treat mobile and social like promotional add-ons. I think cross-pollination is very important. I think if somebody is tweeting you or liking what you're doing on Instagram, they're all tying together. So if you have a good, strong mobile program, then we can drive them back to your social media networks and round we go. But those are very, very important. And, you know, I think I'll leave you with a quote that my friend Hap Klopp just said at a conference in Idaho. Make sure you have somebody in charge of this department. Make sure you have somebody in charge of your digital strategy. And I think the quote he said was, you can search every park in every city and you'll never find statues of committees. There's got to be a leader in the group. So that's all I got. Thank you so much.